Good day, Summers. This is Raabemaster bringing you a League of Legends Procast featuring Cruzerthebruzer. He's going to be playing top lane Jarvan the 4th. And welcome, guys, to the show where we don't kill steal, we skill steal. Let's go over the champion picks for you guys. For the blue team, it's going to be a mid lane Lux, as well as going to be bot lane supported by a Lulu. It's going to be an Akali in the top lane, and it's going to be Jarvan the 4th, and it's going to be Lee Sin jungle. On the red team, it's going to be Nocturne in the jungle. There's going to be Cruzerthebruzer, Jarvan 4th playing top, as we've already gone over. Mid lane's going to be Nidalee, who's properly named Nid Mid, living up to his name. Very good. Vayne's going to be in the bot lane, supported by a Soraka. So bot lane, little aggressive Lulu Ezreal. That's a bit of an aggressive lane. But however, Vayne, Soraka, that's quite a passive bottom lane, if I had to say something about it. Soraka with the heals, and Vayne, of course, just wants to wait and farm up till late game. Not really looking for that much action in the bot lane, unless, of course, she's more with a more aggressive support. She can do some decent early game damage, but is quite squishy. So let's get under the game. Let's get underway with the game for you guys. And first off, we're going to notice that there is one kill. It's going to be allotted to blue team by the kills and assists. I'm going to have to say it was a Nocturne tried to gank mid, but then was counter ganked by the Lee Sin. And right now in top lane, we have Jarvan the 4th. Cruzerthebruzer in a little bit of trouble. Will he be able to get away? He does dodge the Sonic Wave, and that means they have no chance of getting him. Akali, of course, not level 6 yet, so no gap closers. Trying to get a kill with Akali before level 6 can be quite troublesome, as she has no CC, she has no gap closers. She does have some decent damage with her Q, E combo, and her stealth field gives her a bit of a slow, but that's not really much of a good crowd control. Her stealth field's pretty bad for crowd control, and if you end up needing to use it to escape, it's on a pretty long cooldown, so you're kind of out of luck if you try to use it to initiate. But we are going to have Vayne taking some nice harass. Ezreal might be able to get this kill. Actually, he's going to flash forward for it. Will he be able to get the last mystic shot into auto attack? He's going to pick up the Soraka. Body blocking for her AD carry. A wise decision. If you're the support, dying for your AD carry is much better than them dying, because when they're dead, they can't farm. But when you're... if they're not farming, they're not getting closer to their late game, which they want to be in. So it's much more beneficial that you die. We might have another gank coming here top lane. Jarvan the 4th in a bit of trouble. He does get crippled, but Akali still no ultimate. Will not be able to follow up as well as she wants to on this. Tries to proc her Q, but to no avail. Lee Sin, I think, is going to eat a couple tower shots here in the top lane. He will. Going to recall because of that. He actually might stick around trying to get the follow-up gank. And here he goes. Will he get the Tempest cripple? No, actually, he's like, what? My Akali's not here. Where'd she go? But no, she was not. No cripple on Jarvan, so they aren't going to try to go for the gank. A couple tower shots being eaten by blue team. And, of course, we have Nidalee being pushed to her tower. Nidalee, not a very good farmer. She does get pushed out of lane. And, of course, Lux, an extremely good pusher, will do that to her. They both have very good poke. Nidalee's is a little longer range, but Lux's is AoE and more spammable. Well, I guess Nidalee's spears are pretty spammable, but they're not as reliable as Lucent Singularity. And, of course, we have a Nocturne jungle here. I've been seeing a lot more Nocturne jungle lately. It's very strong. You've got really good ganks after level 6. The unfortunate thing is his ultimate cooldown is like 160, 180, something ridiculous. That kind of cooldown. Let's actually take a look at it. It's 180 at level 1. I believe he has a little bit of cooldown reduction, bringing that down a bit. And we are going to see Vayne take a little damage. But, of course, this is a Soraka in lane. I so despise being against Sorakas. Not because she's OP or anything, but we are going to have Nocturne taking a bit of damage here in the river. Back to Soraka. It's not because I think she's OP. It's just that she makes the lane so passive, and I love picking those aggressive AD carriers like Ezreal, like Draven, like Graves or Corki. They're all kind of more aggressive than Vayne, or I guess Caitlyn's a little bit aggressive too, and Misfortune has some good early game damage. But I like picking more aggressive AD carries, and Soraka kind of ruins that plan, because if you're trying to get some poke down, she'll just heal that right back up with her heals, of course. And here in the top lane, Jarvan the 4th versus Akali. I've seen a lot of Akalis go top lane. I like her better mid because her roaming can be extremely strong. And, of course, she hates tanky opponents. That's why she tends to fall off late game, because when people have health, when people have magic resist, Warmogs is her mortal enemy right now. But it looks like she's getting attacked by Jarvan the 4th. She's going to go into stealth, gets ignited right before she goes into stealth mode. However, she's going to try to juke through the river. Jarvan the 4th is going to flash Cruzerthebruzer, but Akali burns her flash to get out of the ultimate, and I think she'll be able to escape. Switching to bot lane right now. Vayne and Soraka taking a bit of harass. Akali did indeed make it out of there. Health potions chugged away. Make sure she survived the ignite, which of course she did. So she is happy as can be right now. Of course, she doesn't really have much health, so farming under those conditions can be risky, but Jarvan without an ultimate is a lot less dangerous. And Nocturne taking the blue for his mid laner is going to get found by Lee Sin. One more punch to the face is going to get the kill. That was so painful to watch. But when you're playing someone like a jungler, actually, no, I'll come to this later. It looks like blue team's going to initiate. They take the turret with one last auto attack. There's a Lee Sin here. He's going to want to safeguard, maybe flash and Q. There's a safeguard. There's the flash. There's the Q. And the kill is going to get picked up on the Soraka. They're not going to get the Vayne. Nice condemn. Stunning Lee Sin against the wall. And it's going to be very good for them. One more kill for blue team. Brings it 4-0. Advantage blue team. And they also do have the bot tower now, meaning it's going to be a little easier for Vayne to farm because she's not up as far, less chance that she's going to get ganked. But of course now her tower is dead, which is not very good for their map control. And Jarvan here, he got this Akali very low, but he has no mana. That's the problem right now. He wants to get this kill, but he has 50 mana. Dragon Strike takes 60. Call down to the flag, I think takes 50 or something. So he doesn't feel comfortable trying to dive this Akali because the turret's going to do a lot of damage, and he won't have an escape if he tries because his flash is down. And looks like we're going to have blue team taking the dragon, going to further up their gold lead. And right now it looks like they're going to initiate on the Soraka. She's taking a lot of damage. Lux Laser going to finish it off. Finales Fulken, or Infinite Light, I believe, as it is now. What did they change that to eventually? Final Spark. Yes, Infinite Light was like the second remake of the name. Then they went with Final Spark instead. Because, surprise, surprise, Lux's ult is not infinite. So maybe they thought that'd be a bit misleading of a name. Right now, on the red team, we are seeing that they have a 5k gold disadvantage. This is huge in the early game. The Nocturne's 0-2. He's not a jungler you want to get behind on. He relies on... He does have some steroids with his Q, with his spell shield, and looks like we're going to see Jarvan 4 get initiated on. Will Akali continue this? I don't think so. She knows she can't kill Jarvan with trying to combo with her ulti and Qs. But she was certainly trying. Nidalee trying maybe to take this blue buff. No, she decides to back out wisely. I don't know if she doesn't have any wards here, so she must have just, her Lee Sin senses were tingling, and she decided to just hack it on out of there. Nidalee might be coming for a gank. Once again, I've said this in a previous video, I don't really like Nidalee mid that much because her ganks are some of the worst. I mean, she literally has no CC. She has a short cooldown, reliable sort of gap closer with her leap, or I mean pounce, but it's really not that beneficial for ganking. However, it might come in good use for a counter gank. Lee Sin did step on a trap, so Nidalee does know he's here. She gets quite a bit of burst damage. However, Lee Sin ulti is going to dissuade her from pursuing. And looks like Nocturne might be ganking mid. He doesn't have any support, but he's definitely going to go in. And he does not spell shield the light binding. That was kind of a mistake there from Nocturne. And he's going to eat a lot of magic damage for his trouble. A lot. But here comes Nidalee. They might be able to make some magic happen. She does throw her light binding in the other direction. And we're going to top lane for some reason because there's a J4 gank. Oh, Lux dropping very low. Spear almost killing her. However, Nocturne very low. He does pop his ult. He does flash, but Lux is out of range. He eats a tower shot, however. And here comes bot lane for the assist. Lux Laser barely hits him right at the edge. And Lulu's going to pick that one up with her slow. And here comes Ezreal. Nidalee, I don't know how you're going to survive this. You're going to have to have Mad Play slow and exhaust coming out from Lulu. She misses her pounce over the wall, but it doesn't matter. She flashes. So does Ezreal. And one more Mystic Shot should clean this one up. And it's going to go to Lulu assisted auto attacks. And Jarvan actually getting a kill here top lane. Looks like Lee Sin tried to dive him with Akali. Only 3 people went into the tower. Only 1 left. So that is going to be the first kill for Team Cruzerthebruzer, bringing the gold disparity from to 6k advantage blue team. 8-1. Towers right now 2-0. They're looking to make this 3-0. All tier 1 towers are looking to go down for red team. I think their top tower might go down to minions. It might stand, but I think Ezreal's definitely be getting this turret here. Tier 2 turret in for red team is going to go down. Another 150 gold for everyone on blue team. And of course, Nocturne's like, I'm 0-3. I do not feel comfortable diving into their team. He has steroids when he's on his Q path, and those really help him if he's behind. But unfortunately, he just doesn't have the itemization to make the big plays you like to see from Nocturne, ulting straight onto the carry and just hurting them extremely bad. And that's the great thing about Nocturne. He can bypass all the initiation that the other team has and go straight for the carry. He can bypass the Nautilus, bypass the other tanks. He has a spell shield. He has an extremely long gap closer. And here comes Lux Laser along with Ezreal ult. And actually, Lux Laser, I believe, killed her. So that is going to be big money for blue team. They're just getting advantage after advantage. And right now it's looking very good for them. Just shutting down that Vayne. That's something you need to do. And they're not just shutting down the Vayne. A lot of a lot of lower level players have this problem. And the other team has hyper carries. Vayne, Jax, other ones I'm not thinking of because I'm kind of tired. But there are those hyper carries in this game. They are not as plentiful as the ones in Dota 2, where you have a lot of really, really strong carries. But it looks like we have Lee Sin initiating onto this Nidalee. She's going to pounce over the wall, though. Be okay. And Lee Sin's going to be sad that he doesn't get a kill. Also, for those of you who don't know, the new Stonewall 008 tier list is out. I might make a short video about that. I don't know how well it'll be received. I mean, I don't want to take away from Stonewall's words because I know I'm not as experienced as him, but it looks like this Soraka has problems of her own. She does flash out of the Lux Laser, and here comes the call. She's getting initiated on by Cruzerthebruzer. Will he be able to pick up a nice kill here, doing a lot of damage? AD Jarvan hurts bad, and all he has right now is 2 Doran's Blades and a Giant's Belt, but that's more AD than you normally see on someone on, say, Jungle Jarvan. And he's not going to be going in here for the kill. No, she decides to come back. Will he get the ulti? He does, but she flashes right out of it, and now Cruzerthebruzer might be in a bit of trouble. He has no mana. But, of course, Akali does not have any of her ultis up right now. So, maybe she has 1 up. I think that means she has 1 Shadow Essence. I'm not exactly sure on that, however. Let's check for a moment. It does say 1 now. And Cruzerthebruzer, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm sorry. Let's go back to that. Pretend that never happened. Okay. Looks like we have Lee Sin here trying to pick up the remainder of the gank. Walking through walls, and he flashes over Sonic Wave to Resonating Strike, and he's going to pick it up with 1 more auto attack. Well played by Lee Sin. Flash into Sonic Wave, picking up a kill. They are certainly going to go get this tower now here, and that's going to be a tower for them. I can't exactly tell what Jarvan the 4th skin that is. I'm sure it's set on the loading screen, but I'm excited for the new Jarvan the 4th skin. It has an amazing ultimate animation that just looks so cool, and looks like you might be in a bit of trouble. Nope, she was just out of range of the slow. Tumble going to secure that she will get away. Vayne very mobile with her tumble, and of course it gives her a lot of damage along with her silver bolts. Yes, that's it. Took me a moment to think of the name. But we are just going to have pretty much blue team all going back and bind, except for bot lane still kind of pushing, and right now turret count is 0-4 favor blue team, and they are just so far ahead right now. 10-1, and it looks like Nocturne going to get caught out here. Doesn't get hit by any of the CC, but Ezreal is not going to be giving this one up. Mystic Shot gets absorbed by a Spell Shield. I think that means he's going to be able to survive. Maybe launches his Q, gets the bonus attack speed, I mean movement speed. Well, he does get bonus attack speed as well, I believe. Or I think it's just damage and movement speed. Yep, 45 damage, 30% movement speed. So very good for Nocturne when he's trying to chase someone. It acts a lot like... I was going to say something, but never mind. Ignore that. I had thoughts that I decided not to convey. And right now we're going to have another blue team dragon, it looks like, controlling these objectives like a boss. I'm actually going to use an app on my phone. You can look it up for yourselves if you use a smartphone device. It's called LOL Assist, and what it does is it can help you keep track of buffs. It has buff timers on them, so I'm going to click the one for dragon, and it starts counting down for 6 minutes. In no way could this be seen as cheating, in my opinion. So feel perfectly free to use it. And right now it looks like Vayne is actually going to get hit by that slow. She might be in a lot of trouble here. There goes the ult onto Ezreal, and Lee Sin is also here. She's certainly dead. She tries to walk back in the tower range, but Ezreal's going to be picking that one up. And Soraka might be in a bad situation as well. You should not have come that close. She's going to get kicked back out towards the Ezreal, and he's going to pick this one up. No, actually, Lee Sin picking that one up after the Ezreal auto attack went through. Lee Sin jungle was nerfed recently. The slow on Cripple only 20%, where it was, I believe, 30% previously. That does hurt his ganks, but still, tier 1 jungler, obviously. Maybe number 1. Stonewall seems to think so. I think there are a couple other junglers up there for number 1. But, of course, picking Lee Sin as the best jungler right now, just all across the board, will not surprise anyone. Of course, that doesn't mean you should always pick him, because he's a very difficult champion to play. And right now we're going to have Akali kind of running through the red team base. Does get seen by a Nidalee trap. And Nocturne's like, well, I'm screwed. And he must certainly are Nocturne. Unless the Soraka heals come through and the Fear. Wow. Blue team not able to pick up that kill despite the fact that it's an Akali and Lux against like a vastly out-leveled red team. Just look at the levels red team compared to blue team. Being vastly out-levels almost across the board right now. And sure, it might just be a couple levels here, 1 level here, but that means a lot in this game, especially at this point in the game. And right now we're going to have Nidalee Spears hitting the Akali. She is trapped because she's in the Jarvan ult, but she does manage to get out using her ult to escape, but Jarvan's going to flash and spear her for the kill. It's always exciting to get a kill with your E as Jarvan. Just feels so good. And Lulu's going to just be walking through the red team jungle, warding the buff. Something you can do when you're ahead to get yourselves even further ahead. Ward the enemy's buffs. It's very strong and a very good practice to go into. And of course right now we have a bit of a problem here. No, not a bit of a problem. Well, a problem for red team. They are really far behind. Oh, pretty much a 10k gold disparity. They do have a very good late game. Lee Sin, while he doesn't have the strongest late game. And right now we're actually going to have a gank here from Lux, trying to do some damage to the Vayne, but Vayne pops her ultimate. She wants to get the kill. Nice dodge with the Lux ulti. She doesn't get condemned into the wall, so Light Binding will in fact hit. However, she's exhausted right now. There's the Ezreal whiffing. Oh, Ezreal jumping over the wall, saving her Lux, and now Soraka is also dead. Nice reaction from the Ezreal, picking up that kill, and Lux also getting away from that very well. That condemn from Vayne was just not quite perfect. Not able to pick up the stun, which probably would have secured a kill. And we might be seeing a team fight down here in the bot lane under the tower. Oh, nice spear, shutting down the Lux because she was already so low. Of course, there's a giant Lee Sin in the battlefield, but it looks like red team might be able to turn this one around. I don't know. The Ezreal's doing a lot of damage, and he's almost full health. I don't think red team can even fight this, despite the fact they killed the Lux. Lee Sin's very low. They just don't have the ability to kill this Ezreal. Diving straight onto the Nidalee is the Nocturne. I don't think he's going to actually survive. No, that's not a Nidalee. That's a Lee Sin. Blech. But however, Ezreal picking up the kill. Ignoring the Ezreal is not what you want to do in this situation. And looks like he might be able to get the Jarvan EQ combo. Actually going to get him out to safety. Heal coming out from Nidalee. And red team does have turtling options. They have a Nocturne. They have Jarvan for his tankiness and initiation. They have a Vayne for late game power and damage. They have poke from Nidalee, but they really don't have a good way to farm creep waves. And Nidalee trying to contest the blue buff is just going to end up getting killed. One more Mystic Shot. Oh, it's going to whiff, and she is going to get away. Surprising. I thought Ezreal for sure would have been able to get that one. But, yeah, red team does have turtling options, but unfortunately they have no way to clear waves fast. And you really want that if you're going to be if you're going to go for the turtling strategy. Sure, Jarvan Q and Nocturne Q can clear waves, but they're not very strong wave clearing options. They really need some stronger AoE, and they just don't have that in their lineup right now for turtling. They do have some decent poke though. That might save them in the end, but we'll have to see. They are very far behind right now. And Cruzerthebruzer kind of just getting run around in circles. He doesn't really have a good way to catch the Akali. And what does Akali have? Typical Akali build. Build her Hextech Revolver and Nocturne Dodge. Just Lux whiffing everything. Is not going to pick up a kill here. And Nocturne's going to be like, well, that happened. I'm just going to get my red buff right now. Oh, that's the luckiest Nocturne ever. Nocturne deciding to go for damage despite being so far behind. I don't like this option. If you're this far behind, you might as well just go some cheap defensive items. At least try to be useful in team fights. And, wow, Ezreal flashing over, getting the big Wraith, and he might even get himself a bigger Wraith called Nocturne. There's the cleanse, stopping the fear. He's going to flash forward, try to get this kill. There's the Iceborne Gauntlet, procs. And nice slow from Lulu. Here comes the ultimate, but it misses since Nocturne decided to flash, and Nidalee might be in a bit of trouble here. Not Nidalee, Lulu and Ezreal going to go down. Nidalee picking up that one with her spear. Now it looks like Vayne's going to try to get some kills here. The rest of blue team is converging. Nocturne going down to some Lux damage. Jarvan jumping right in on the rest of blue team. 2-for-1 trade. That's very good for red team. They did take out the AD carry. They did take out the Lulu. And that's surprising. Lulu is one of the best champs at keeping your carries alive. All of her abilities help keep your teammates alive. And it looks like we might have some initiation here from blue team. That Nidalee's in a very bad spot, but she is able to get out of her thanks to being Nidalee, just such a mobile champion. And blue team is playing this game perfectly. They got an advantage over a hyper carry, Vayne. She's not farmed. She has one Fan Dancer, while Ezreal has a Bloodthirster and an Iceborne Gauntlet. He's doing a lot of damage right now. And when you're ahead of a hyper carry like this, what you want to do is push. Because if they don't have the chance to turtle, if that carry doesn't have the chance to farm, and you push against them, you can just end the game before they even have the chance to reach that status. That's why you want to push against those kind of champions. It works a lot better in Dota due to the fact that it's so much harder to recover because you lose gold when you die, and it's a lot harder to just farm up items. But however, in League of Legends, it's you have a lot more assurance that eventually you'll probably get there. Like, it's a lot harder to push it on the inhibitors because they respawn. And right now we're going to see the initiation from blue team. Nocturne trying to use his ulti to escape. The Jarvan's diving balls deep into this fight, but there's a giant Ezreal who's doing a lot of damage. Nocturne, Nidalee going to go down very fast. Lee Sin did manage to get the dragon, and this Jarvan the forward, Cruzerthebruzer, you look dead unless you can manage to escape. Pro plays, and he does EQ, but Akali with her infinite gap closers, and by infinite I mean 3 unless she gets them reset, is going to be able to pick up the kill on that one. Akali, one of the best cleanup champions in the game, right along with AP and AD for that matter, Master Yi. She's very good at annihilating a lot of low health targets. And it looks like red team is just going to push through this inhibitor and be able to take, I believe this will be maybe even the final push. I don't know. Looks like there's some initiation going on here. Ezreal, nope, just jumping forward, trying to get some poke out. This Nocturne is just so squishy right now. This is the big problem with him right now. Oh, he does get Lux lasered, but barely survives. Gets back to the fountain, and right now blue team really pushing hard. Blue team sending pings to tell their carry to get back, saying, hey, we're not behind you right now. But see, they're doing this so well. They just took an inhibitor 23 minutes into the game. Vayne has very little. One major item up. All she has is attack speed. She has like no damage unless she gets her silver bolt proc. That's the only way she's going to do any damage. And against champions with lower amounts of health like Ezreal, she's not carving through a lot of her health when she's auto-attacking at all. So that's not going to be very good for her. But they're taking their Ezreal a very good mid-game AD carry. And looks like they might be able to get Cruzerthebruzer here. The slow from the ulti comes out. There's the polymorph into a dragon. And I think they're going to get this. Ezreal flashes forward. Will he get another slow field out? Lulu still slowing. And the ultimate from Ezreal coming out barely next to him. And he gets his last flash up, picking up the kill now. And Soraka also dying down here. Blue team initiating on the rest of red team. This Nidalee is dead as balls. And of course, Nocturne going down as well to the Akali. Akali proving her strength against non-tanky opponents. When you're against an Akali, please build health and magic resist. It makes her so much worse. I love Akali. I think she's such a fun champion. But against tanky targets, she melts. She can't do anything. Against squishies like Vayne, she'll have parties all day. Unless she gets condemned into a tower, she still might be able to pick this one up. Actually, she barely goes into stealth. Of course, Vayne doesn't really want to chase this because she knows one combo from Akali could be her death. But well played by Vayne, pushing Akali off of her and not dying. Of course, blue team once again taking another inhibitor, it looks like here. Very good for them. They are going to be able to push this one for the win, as there are no more mid turrets here guarding the Nexus. It's looking very grim for red team. I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to pull this one back. They weren't able to turtle. And Vayne, all I can do is clap. That was an amazing Lux laser, just annihilating that Vayne. And it looks like Nocturne going to go and try to get one last kill of the game. Will he? He will. Picking up the Lulu. And Ezreal now taken so low from that Nidalee spear. He's going to try to arcane shift. He almost has his flash up. He's like, well, better get out of here. But he does get annihilated. One last spear from Nidalee is going to pick him up. Now Nidalee looks pretty dead. But does any of this matter? The question is probably not, because blue team has 2 inhibitors down. They're pushing down the bottom turret. And right now it's 3-2. Blue team at the disadvantage. I believe this is going to be the end of the game, guys. Thank you all for watching. This has been a Raabemaster Procast of Cruzerthebruzer. Sorry it was such a stomp, but hey, these things happen. I hope you all learned a couple of things. Against hyper carries like Vayne, it helps to push fast if you get a nice advantage early game, because it just denies them the opportunity to recover. That Vayne was like, I need attack speed, but there was really nothing she could do at this stage of the game. She was just so far behind. And they did a really good job of pushing and taking the Nexus at 26 minutes. That's what you have to do against those hyper carries. Enunciate on their bad early game, push to take objectives. And they did that. And of course, when you have a hyper carry, you kind of want to turtle this, but there was no wave clear for red team for them to do that. So unfortunately, not able to do that. Also, they kept getting caught out. Nocturne, bro, you had a terrible jungle, unfortunately. Don't tank the buffs when your mid laner is that far away and you're so low. If you're like close to full health, tank the buff for them if you really want to give them blue buff. But when you're like that, just take the buff. It's a lot safer. And Nocturne ended up dying at his buff for that. So that's what I do as a jungler. If my mid laner's not there and I have to tank it for more than like 3 to 5 seconds, I just take it for myself. I'm like, if you really want this blue buff, you should be a little bit more aggressive to come and get it. But anyways, that has been a Raabemaster Procast. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you guys next time.